In the world of mixed martial arts, intimidation is a powerful weapon. Fighters dedicate countless hours honing their skills, transforming their bodies into instruments of destruction. Yet, some individuals stand apart, radiating an aura of fear that sends shivers down opponents' spines. Whether through their relentless fighting style, imposing physical presence, or psychological warfare, these warriors have left a lasting mark in the Octagon. I'm Jin from Beyond the Octagon, and today we're diving into the top 10 scariest fighters in MMA history. Get ready for a thrilling countdown that showcases the true meaning of intimidation. Starting off at number 10, we have Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar is a true force of nature in the world of MMA, and his sheer physical presence is enough to intimidate anyone. Standing at 6'3" and weighing in at around 265 pounds of muscle, Lesnar's size and strength are complemented by an impressive athletic background as a former NCAA wrestling champion and WWE superstar. What makes Lesnar particularly fearsome is his explosive fighting style and wrestling prowess. He can take opponents down with incredible power, often dominating them on the ground. His ground and pound is brutal, capable of ending fights in a matter of moments. In his UFC debut, he showcased this prowess by quickly defeating Frank Mir, a victory that sent shockwaves through the heavyweight division. Lesnar's reputation extends beyond his physicality. His intimidating persona and fierce competitiveness make him a daunting opponent. Whether he's walking to the cage or staring down an opponent during a weigh-in, his intensity is palpable. He has a unique ability to draw the spotlight, and his aura of dominance can leave fighters feeling overwhelmed. Number 9, Alistair Overeem, also known as Overeem.
The best example of all time, clearly, is Alistair when he was fighting Brock.
Bro, did you see that dude?
What was that?
In
He
his
was
strike
a
force?
superhero.
When he
Strike
kicked
force.
Brock in the side, though.
Bro, he was so terrifying when he saw us.
Yeah,
when
he
he
was.
was like full Alistair Reem.
Yeah, there
this
he
is
is.
Uber Reem, son.
Oh my God.
Uber Reem was a motherfucker.
The heavyweight division has seen its share of intimidating figures, but few rivaled the sheer physical presence of Alistair Overeem during his Ubereem or overroid phase. At 265 pounds, juiced to the gills, Overeem carried his weight with shredded abs and a nearly superhuman physique. While Brock Lesnar's build was impressive, Overeem pushed the boundaries of what a heavyweight could be from 2007 to 2011. Standing 6'4", Overeem's transformation struck fear into his opponents. Whether fueled by a controversial diet of horse meat or other methods, the results were undeniable. During this period, he dominated the heavyweight scene with an astonishing 11-fight winning streak, capturing the Strikeforce heavyweight title and the Dream heavyweight title, culminating in a stunning UFC debut where he dismantled Brock Lesnar. Out of those 11 fights, Overeem finished 10 opponents, solidifying his status as the most feared heavyweight of his era. His dominance led many to believe he was invincible. However, like a tragic hero, Overeem's downfall stemmed from within. Before a title fight against Junior Dos Santos at UFC 146, his testosterone levels were found to be more than double the allowable limit, leading to a suspension until 2013. When he returned, the roiding era had ended. But for those 4 years, Alistair Overeem was the heavyweight no one wanted to face, a true embodiment of power and intimidation in MMA. Number 8, John Jones. John Jones strikes fear into the hearts of opponents as one of MMA's all-time greats. Standing at 6'4" with an impressive 84.5-inch wingspan, his physical attributes are complemented by a unique blend of athleticism and skill. Jones is renowned for his unpredictable fighting style, seamlessly combining innovative striking with exceptional wrestling and grappling. What truly sets Jones apart is his ability to adapt during fights. He possesses an uncanny knack for creating openings and controlling the pace, often leaving opponents scrambling to defend against his unpredictable attacks. His confidence, which sometimes borders on arrogance, combined with his aura of invincibility, can be paralyzing for even the toughest competitors. With only one official loss, a controversial disqualification, Jones has maintained a nearly flawless record. Each bout he enters is a daunting challenge, as he has a history of finishing fights decisively, often leaving his opponents battered and bewildered. With his raw talent, mental fortitude, and relentless drive, Jon Jones remains one of the most feared figures in MMA history. Number 7. Mirko Cro Cop.
Oh boy! I stated earlier in the evening an erroneous statement. I said there was 14,500 people. There are in fact 18,926 people. It's way more even sold out than I thought it would be. You got Vanderlei Silva against Mirko.
Right leg hospital, left leg cemetery. This chilling phrase perfectly encapsulates the essence of Cro Cop's fighting prowess. When Cro Cop unleashed a head kick, it was more than just a strike. It was a one-way ticket to unconsciousness. Throughout his illustrious career, Cro Cop proved that his fearsome reputation was no myth. With an astounding 71 knockouts across his combat sports journey, he had an uncanny ability to end fights abruptly with his devastating kicks. His kickboxing skill and ferocity in the ring were complemented by a haunting stoicism reminiscent of Fedor Emelianenko. While Fedor seemed otherworldly, Cro Cop appeared distinctly human, as if he trained in a frigid, isolated gym, kicking down trees with legs built like NFL running backs. This stoicism hinted at a lifetime of experiences, adding another layer of intimidation. Consider his 2005 call-out of Fedor Emelianenko. "I'm still standing and I'm still waiting for the title fight. Emelianenko Fedor, you are next." The chilling confidence in his voice made it clear Cro Cop was not just another fighter, he was a formidable force. With his brutal power, relentless aggression, and icy demeanor, Cro Cop firmly earns his place on this list. Number 6. Cris Cyborg. Let's introduce the scariest female fighter to ever walk this earth. Cris Cyborg's fights often left fans feeling as if they should call the police, a true testament to her intimidation factor. Over her remarkable 13-year unbeaten streak, Cyborg brutalized 21 opponents, with those who survived until the final bell counting themselves lucky. She scored 17 knockouts in those 21 victories, including 11 first-round stoppages. One win was overturned due to a failed drug test, but this only amplified her fearsome reputation. Cyborg was quick, violent, and relentless. She had a knack for seizing openings and unleashing a flurry of strikes until the referee had no choice but to intervene. Much like a prime Mike Tyson, the outcomes of her bouts often felt predetermined. Each fight announcement felt like a sacrificial offering to an angry deity, with Cyborg embodying that wrath. Oddsmakers regularly placed her as a -3,000 favorite, illustrating the near certainty of her victories. Her ferocious violence and dominance inside the cage made her one of the most intimidating figures in all of sports. For opponents, stepping into the ring with Cris Cyborg wasn't just a fight, it was a daunting encounter with an unstoppable force. Number 5. Fedor Emelianenko. The word that best encapsulates Fedor's intimidation factor is cold. In a sport often defined by flashy theatrics and dramatic entrances, especially in Japan, where Fedor's legendary career largely unfolded, he stood in stark contrast. His walkouts, even in the grandeur of venues like the Saitama Super Arena, were marked by an unsettling calmness. He moved with an emotionless demeanor, seemingly indifferent to the spectacle surrounding him. Fedor's fighting style reflected this chilling detachment. Regardless of the situation, whether facing adversity or celebrating a victory, he maintained unshakable composure. His almost mythical presence, combined with minimal communication, made him appear more machine than human. This machine was not only functional, but terrifyingly efficient, capable of delivering violence swiftly and decisively. His unbeaten streak, which spanned nearly a decade, only amplified the fear he inspired. Fedor seemed impervious to pressure, unbeatable, and indifferent to the chaos of the fight game. His cold, enigmatic persona contrasted sharply with typical intimidation tactics, yet it was precisely this quality that made him so formidable. If the idea of an unstoppable, emotionless force doesn't instill fear, then you're not being honest with yourself. For a decade, Fedor Emelianenko embodied that primal fear in MMA. Number 4. Yoel Romero. Romero is a living testament to athleticism and intimidation. At 47, he looks like he stepped straight out of a comic book, showcasing the pinnacle of physicality and explosive power. With unmatched athleticism, Romero is arguably the most physically gifted fighter in MMA history. His speed and agility defy the limits of human capability, and his Olympic silver medal in wrestling adds to his formidable skill set. Romero's performances are a mesmerizing blend of athletic brilliance and sheer terror. Take his ankle pick from a 2010 bout, which seems to defy the laws of physics. And who could forget his nearly decapitating strike against Chris Weidman? He moves like a force of nature, leaving a lasting impact even in losses, such as his 2 grueling fights with middleweight champion Robert Whittaker. Those 10 rounds against Romero likely left the Australian feeling as if he had battled a supernatural entity. Romero's chilling post-fight call-out of Michael Bisping is often mentioned, not just for the words, but for the menacing aura he brings. In a different context, his declaration, "I love you, see you soon," might have seemed lighthearted. However, knowing that facing Romero is akin to confronting a slasher film villain makes those words send shivers down your spine. Yoel Romero is the embodiment of a movie monster come to life. For opponents, it's not just about winning, it's about surviving the ordeal. Number 3. Khabib Nurmagomedov. You're probably sick of hearing about the heavier weight classes, so let's bring in the eagle. Khabib is a name synonymous with dominance in MMA, and his intimidating presence inside the Octagon has made him one of the most feared fighters in history. With an unyielding fighting style, Khabib's grappling and ground control are unmatched. Every opponent knew his game plan, but no one could figure out a way to beat him. What makes Khabib particularly fearsome is his relentless pressure and grappling prowess. A Dagestani wrestling phenom, he has an extraordinary ability to take opponents down and drag them into deep waters, often leaving them helpless on the mat. His signature move, the Dagestani handcuff, immobilizes opponents while he rains down strikes, making him a nightmare to face. Khabib's unbeaten record of 29 wins speaks volumes about his skill and dominance, but it's his mental toughness that truly sets him apart. Known for his cold demeanor, he exudes confidence that can rattle even the most experienced fighters. His ability to stay focused under pressure and execute a game plan with precision makes him an intimidating presence. Beyond his grappling, Khabib's striking has also improved significantly, adding another layer of danger to his game. His rise to fame culminated in a historic victory over Conor McGregor, solidifying his status as a true champion and one of the most feared fighters in MMA history. At number 2, we have Wanderlei Silva. Welcome the Axe Murderer. His name says it all. For those unfamiliar with the early days of MMA, especially fans drawn in during the McGregor era, Silva's reputation as the ultimate intimidator might seem almost nostalgic. His recent bouts in Bellator, well past his prime, do little justice to the terror he instilled in the sport during his prime. But for those who followed mixed martial arts in the early 2000s, the Axe Murderer epitomized fear. During his dominant run in Pride FC, Silva was a relentless force, and his nearly unbeatable nature only added to his intimidating aura. His legendary pre-fight stare, with eyes locked on his opponent and hands rolling in a nearly supernatural manner, could send chills down anyone's spine. Silva's intimidation went beyond his appearance. His fighting style was brutal and unyielding, characterized by heavy strikes and furious brawls. Out of his 35 career wins, an astonishing 80% were finishes, showcasing his capacity for violence and aggression. He fought like a cornered animal, and his pre-fight demeanor mirrored that ferocity. In an era where many fighters were deemed intimidating, Silva made them look tame by comparison. Silva's unique blend of menacing presence and devastating fighting style makes him the textbook definition of intimidation in MMA. He remains the gold standard for striking fear into the hearts of opponents, securing his place as number 2 on our list. And finally, at number 1, we have Alex Pereira. When it comes to sheer intimidation in the octagon, Alex Powhatan Pereira is the man to make any other man shit himself literally. Just his cross-cage stare down alone would have you tapping out before the bell rings. Known for his incredible knockout power, Pereira's presence is enough to send shivers down the spine of any opponent. With a background as a two-time Glory kickboxing champion, he seamlessly transitioned to MMA where he quickly made a name for himself. What makes Pereira so fearsome is not just his striking skills, but the aura he carries into the cage. Standing at 6'4" with an imposing frame, he possesses the kind of power that can change the course of a fight in an instant. His ability to finish opponents with devastating precision has earned him a reputation as one of the most dangerous strikers in the sport. His nickname, Powhatan, literally means stone hands, and coupled with his unshakable demeanor, Alex Pereira has carved out his place as number one of the most feared fighters in MMA history. And guys, with that, we conclude our rundown of the top 10 most scariest fighters in MMA history. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed this video, smash that like button and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.